Hello and welcome to World News Today. Here are the top breaking stories for you. Trump is a gangster, Robert De Niro claims. Washington at war, Dems aim for speedy impeachment push as Trump threatens whistleblower. UK Prime Minister's office denies Boris Johnson's sexual advance allegations. Saudi Crown Prince warns of Iran threat to global oil. The legendary Hollywood actor Robert De Niro has compared Donald Trump to a gangster and said he is unfit to be president. The megastar made these remarks during an interview with CNN's Brian Stelter that Mr. Trump is crazy before responding bluntly when asked how he deals with his criticism from the president's backers at Fox News. De Niro, a vocal critic of the president, also dropped F-bomb on live show. The host of the program gently reminded him that the interview was live on a Sunday morning. Before then asking why he chose to use such strong language, De Niro responded, "We are in a moment in our lives in this country where this guy is like a gangster. He's come along, he said dumb things we say over and over again. This is terrible. We are in a terrible situation. We are in a terrible situation and this guy keeps going on and on without being stopped." It's not the first time that the actor has criticized the president in the way, and comes after he gained a lot of attention and a standing ovation for using a similar vocabulary during the Tony Awards. 2 days earlier, on the red carpet for the New York Film Festival opening night premiere of his new film, The Irishman, De Niro told Variety he hopes Trump gets impeached. It is pertinent to note that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi last week announced a formal impeachment inquiry into Trump after a whistleblower said the president had pressured Ukraine's leader to investigate the son of Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden. De Niro has become an outspoken Trump critic in recent years and last year played special counsel Robert Mueller in a series of Saturday Night Live sketches about the White House. Donald Trump in previous reaction has called De Niro punch-drunk and a very low IQ individual. De Niro's new film, The Irishman, directed by Martin Scorsese, opens in theaters on November the 1st and on Netflix on November 27th. Lawyers for a whistleblower who accused Donald Trump of pressuring Ukraine to intervene in the 2020 election warned that the president's threats pose a grave risk to their client's safety. Trump, meanwhile, escalated his attacks on the whistleblower, demanding to meet his accuser face-to-face during a day of rage-filled tweets about the Democratic attempt to impeach him. The president's anger spilled over during a day of rage-filled tweets Sunday in which he selectively quoted a supporter who said he was afraid of a civil war-like fracture in the country if Trump is forced from office. The extraordinary spectacle of the president, the titular head of the U.S. legal system, threatening a potential witness in a case against him risks being seen as an attempt to obstruct the investigation. It also cuts against the principle that whistleblowers deserve anonymity and protection, representing another dark twist in an administration that has constantly tested the boundaries of political propriety. On another frantic day of political exchanges, Democrats sought to engineer a fast start to their impeachment efforts as their chance of political success hinge on early momentum to keep the White House off balance. Trump, however, led a ferocious fight back over the weekend, lashing out at Democrats, the media and the whistleblower as some of his top allies battled through a series of contentious appearances on Sunday talk shows. On Sunday night, it emerged that the lawyers for the whistleblower wrote to the chairman and ranking members of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees and Director of National Intelligence Joseph Maguire to express serious concerns for the client. The events of the past week have heightened our concerns that our client's identity will be disclosed publicly and that as a result our client will be put in harm's way, the lawyers wrote in a letter dated Saturday. September 28th, before directly citing a comment by Trump last week. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's office has denied allegations that he made unwanted sexual advances towards two women 20 years ago. Journalist Charlotte Edwards wrote in a column for the Sunday Times that Johnson had made sexual advances at her at a dinner party thrown by the magazine he was editing at the time. She said a woman she spoke with after the dinner, who was sitting on Johnson's other side, said the same thing happened to her. Johnson's office issued a brief statement late Sunday stating the allegation is untrue, but Edwards stood firm. If the Prime Minister doesn't recollect the incident, then clearly I have a better memory than he does, she tweeted. The allegation was published just as Johnson's Conservative Party gathered for an annual conference focused on Britain's planned departure from the European Union on October 31st. It grabbed the front page of several left-leaning dailies and became the talking point of the party meeting that Johnson had hoped to use to rally troops ahead of an expected early election. An abuse of power, the Daily Mirror screamed in bold print. Prime Minister forced into denial of claims that he grouped two women, The Guardian splashed across its front page. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has warned the oil prices may soar if the world does not act to deter Iran. He said failure to act could embolden Iran and lead to war, which he said would ruin the global economy. The prince was speaking after an attack on oil facilities which he blames on Tehran. Iran said the remarks would bring the Saudis nothing but shame. Mohammed bin Salman also said he accepted some responsibility for journalist Jamal Khashoggi's killing, but speaking to CBS News, he denied personally ordering it. The prince, who is considered the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia, is suspected of personally targeting Mr. Khashoggi, a Saudi journalist critical of the government in Riyadh. Mr. Khashoggi was killed in Saudi Arabia's consulate in Turkey on 2nd October 2018. That's all from now. Hope you enjoyed our coverage. We'll see you later. Thank you.